Hello, it's Ada Silent Silverwolf of Love and Above, and I am here with Wellbeing Wednesday. And this Wellbeing Wednesday, we're thinking about overthinking. Do you overthink everything, or many things, or just little things that all of a sudden become overthought? So sometimes a problem can be this small, but in your head you make it this big. And it could just be the smallest little thing. And for overthinkers, it's quite natural to overthink because they've been overthinking all their life. If they've got the experience to overthink, it's the experience. It kind of comes quite naturally. It's not something they've stopped and thought about and thought, let me overthink this. They just do it naturally because maybe when they were younger, a lot of our behaviours and actions, most of them, unless we consciously change them, have been instilled into us before the age of 7. So by the time we hit the age of 7, could be that your parents were overthinkers, and maybe that's why you've become an overthinker unnaturally or naturally. Even though this problem is this small, it can be that big. I have this. I can do this too because was brought up by a couple of overthinkers, shall we say. And I remember once in particular, my husband needed to go into hospital for day surgery, and they told me that I couldn't stay, even though I'd brought a whole load of work for me to do while waiting for him to have the operation. It was a very complicated operation as well for day surgery, but it did actually all go wrong in the surgery, because when I was told to call, I was told he was still in surgery, and I was like, what? But some point between actually being told that I couldn't get in, that I couldn't stay, I was then told, I mean, this was before pandemic, I was told to call at 12 o'clock, so I did, but I managed to get in the lift, and by the time I got to the reception area of this hospital, I'd already decided that I'd just get a phone call to say that he died. That's classic overthinking. That's not living in the moment or being in the moment. Sometimes, when I hit that stage, and I just have to let it go. Or I now speak with the Great Spirit. This is what another word that I use for the universal energy, or angels. I speak to them and I just say, hey, help me, take this away from me, this feeling of overthinking, because it's an awful place to live in. It's an awful place to be, because the problem could be that small and I'm thinking it's this big. You'll be pleased to know my husband didn't actually die in surgery. Yes, there were complications. Stitches burst open in the middle of the operation after they'd done a little bit, and they had to redo it, and they thought they'd punctured something else, and that there was a big hoo-ha. He was only supposed to be in for 3/4 of an hour, which he said was long enough for day surgery, and it ended up being 2.5 hours, and it all did go a little bit wrong, but not the death side. It was all good. But that is classic overthinking. So if you are an overthinker, maybe if you catch yourself, you start thinking, but it's never, I mean, how many times have you overthought something, and then when it's actually happened, it hasn't gone to the stage that you thought it would go to. And that's because, sometimes overthinkers go to the worst case scenario instead of, okay, it's never happened like that before, even though there's so much evidence, that has never happened that way before. You automatically go to worst case scenario a lot of the time. So there we go. If you catch yourself and in that moment, try and prove to yourself, actually, so many other things have happened and like this, and it's never happened this way. So there's some thoughts for us overthinkers. Be kind to yourself, be compassionate to yourself, be tolerant of yourself. If you feel that, hey, actually I'm an overthinker, I should stop doing this, I'm such a bad person, I can't stop overthinking, because again, overthinkers tend to do that. what I will say is just be compassionate to yourself, be tolerant to yourself. You are doing your best. So there we go. If you're watching this on YouTube, like and subscribe to my channel. I upload 4 to 5 times a week and sometimes a sneaky 6th time. And as always, keep rocking your awesomeness.